right, guys, that's how I'm starting today's show. That is one of my favorite Thunder plays since they've been a franchise. That was a very fun year. They ended up going to the finals. They did lose to the Heat, but they went there. It was probably one of the best teams to not win a championship. Russell Westbrook in that play was absolutely amazing. Is back-to-back plays. You see Collison get the putback dunk. You see Russ get the steal, turn around, get the end one, the crazy flip shot. It was a lot of fun watching that. So that's where I'm going to come in. I'm going to start with the Rockets and Thunder today. I believe that there is going to be a really good matchup today at 2:30. I think that the Thunder will find a way to get it done. They'll bounce back from that game one loss, where Harden just kind of took over. They got to find ways to stop them. They cannot let anybody, shoot the three. They've got to play defense. And if that requires playing Robertson, you're going to have to play Robertson. You've got to get out there and stop the three ball. One thing the Rockets do without Russell Westbrook on the court is they just shoot. And if they're hot, they're hot. Russell is, he's still healing up, so they're still going to be without him. He is one of my favorite players to watch all the time. I hate missing him. I'd love to see him play against the Thunder because I think that'd be awesome. And I think it'd be a lot of fun. But they are missing him. So the Thunder have got to find a way to get it done while he is not on the court. I think Chris Paul will actually have them in the right direction. I think that they will be all right today. I think they just got to get their shots going, get the offense going, get in their half-court sets, work around, use your motion, get going. Too much talent around them not to actually be able to get this done today. All right, so we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs, not just the Rockets and Thunder. All around, this first round matchups have been so much fun to watch. There has been upsets for the second time in NBA history. Both 8 seeds won against the 1 seed. That's only happened one other time. And is it a fluke? Possibly. Is it not? I don't know. I think the Lakers are in a world of trouble. I think the Bucks will be all right. But that will be for later talk here. Let's actually keep on with the NBA playoffs just for that. So, of these series so far, the best one I believe has been probably the Mavs and Clippers. You've got two teams who are very, very balanced. You've got two teams that kind of hate each other, and it's showing. Luka's playing really good ball. Paul George didn't have a great game last night, and I mean that was pretty much the difference in the game. Obviously, you have Kristaps and Kawhi, but those two are going to put up their numbers. If one of the other two don't put up their numbers, that's going to be the difference. Paul George, 4 for 17 with, 17 points, I think is what it was. That's not a good stat for someone who's trying to win a championship, and you can't play like that. You're going to have to go in, and you're going to have to find a way to score, find a way to get better, find a way to play defense. It's playoff time. Everybody's in it for the long run. They're series. You're going to beat each other up, so you've got to find ways to win. So there's a couple of series that are actually really going kind of as I figured they would. And those being the Raptors and the Nets. The Nets just they're outmatched in every way. They don't stand a chance. The Raptors are a much better team. The Raptors might be the best team in the East. It's very, very possible. You've also got the Celtics, who are up 2-0 on the Sixers. Yet again, the Sixers are just a joke of a franchise right now. They fight with each other. They argue with each other. They don't have anything in common. They don't act like they're a team. They don't act like they're brothers, and it shows. Joel Embiid contributes to a lot of the fighting. Yes, he's going to put up his numbers. He put up 34 and whatever the other day. like 16 boards, but it's not just a stat game. It's a team game. And when you're fighting with your teammates, it doesn't help. And it's just a very disorganized franchise. Philly, you're there, you're almost there, you've got the talent, but you've got to find a way to actually play as a team. And for that, I just don't think they're going to make it out of this round very well. I think they possibly could get swept. Already being down 2-0, already having a lot of frustrations. They're in a lot of trouble. So I am going to go back to that 8 versus 1 seed for a second time in history. The Bucks lost to the Magic in Game 1. Does that shock me? Absolutely not. The Magic caught fire. The Magic are a 3-point team. If you let a team like that get going, you're going to lose. But at the same note, you live by it and you die by it. So, are they going to hit like they did in Game 1? Probably not. They probably won't be able to keep that going. They probably won't be able to shoot that well. It's very hard to shoot that well, especially in the playoffs. And the Bucks are a good defensive team. I think the Bucks will come back. I think they have nothing to really worry about. There's just Game 1 happens. But the Lakers, on the other hand, you've already given a team that has a lot of momentum coming into the playoffs more momentum after losing Game 1. And they're playing one of the hottest teams in the league right now. Damian Lillard is shooting out of his mind right now. He is shooting 41% from 30 foot for the season. That's an almost impossible stat. Even Steph cannot shoot that percentage from out there. Steph Curry. Damian Lillard is shooting 41% from 30 feet. That is insane, guys. He's showing it every game. You got Melo dropping 25 a game. You got CJ McCollum still over there. And yes, he has an injury history, but oh my goodness, that team is scary. And if LeBron's dropping stats like 23 points, 17 rebounds, and 16 assists, he's still dominating the game, but is he the best team? You got to have the rest of your guys step up. Someone's got to play some defense. Someone's going to have to stop Damian Lillard if the Lakers want to come out of that series. To me, I think they are in a world of trouble. I really think the Lakers are in trouble now. It all kind of depends on what happens tonight. My upset pick of the day is actually going to be the Trailblazers over the Lakers. I think the Trailblazers are not going to back down. I think you got Nurkic, who's coming off of that injury. You've got Damian Lillard, who literally is dropping 50 points a game at will. This is not a good time for the Lakers. They are in a lot of trouble. So, with that being said, here I'm got to give you an update. We got the Heat versus Pacers. Miami took the Game 1. Right now, the Pacers are leading Game 2 at the end of the first. It's 24-21 right now, and that's an interesting series as well. These two teams are very, very equal, but I think the Heat have a little bit more talent as far as superstardom. But they are a very balanced team. They're a very, very fun matchup. Most of these first round matchups are a really good series. They're going to be good series. I mean, you had the Nuggets and the Jazz going to overtime last night. Those guys are a fun game to watch. Donovan Mitchell's dropped 87 points in 2 games. That's like the 4th highest for your first 2 playoff games of all time. And chilling Jordan, Kobe, and I think it was LeBron. That's pretty good company right there for Donovan Mitchell. So overall, I have a lot of fun with these first round matchups. It's a blast to watch them. They're just fun. It's just people going out there playing some basketball and hope for the best. It's anybody's series in all of them, besides maybe the two that I did mention. But we'll see. We'll see how these things go down. We'll see how the rest of the first round plays out. That'll be a big decipher in the next week. We'll see what happens. All right, I'm gonna switch over to boxing a little bit. Oscar De La Hoya actually said that he was going to come out and he's going to fight again. Well, that brings me to my point of an old man league. I've been mentioning it the last couple weeks that an old man league would be very good for the sport. It'd bring in a lot of money, and if these guys are still willing to fight and they're still in shape, I say go for it. I don't want to see anybody get hurt or anything, but Oscar De La Hoya was one of the best of his time. If he still wants to fight, get him out there. Maybe that'll bring in people like Mayweather who want to fight again or something. And yes, Mayweather, I wasn't impressed with how he fought, but he is still going down in the history books as one of the greatest. So bring him out. Let's see what happens. So I want to see an old man league. I want to see the old school boxers. I want to see people get in there, smash mouth boxing, and just beat each other to death. Those were the fun fights. And who knows? It's a possibility. All right, so I'm going to switch over to baseball. We're 25 games in for most teams. In the American League, it's a battle for who thinks they're the best. You've got the Athletics, you've got the Twins, the Yankees, the Indians, all within like a half game of each other, all playing very good baseball, all have a really good pitching staff, all have good hitting. Of that group, the Yankees have the best hitters. They are the best offense in that group. I still believe the Athletics are the best overall team. They have the lowest ERA in baseball right now, and I think they are probably the most balanced offensive and defensive team in the league. Now, for those playoff spots in the American League, you've got the White Sox, the Rays, and the Astros all coming in pretty close, and they're only trailing by like 2 games. So baseball's kind of picking up a little bit. It's a short season, so every game does matter now. It's not you win 60, you lose 60. It's you got to play for the games right now because you only play 60. So that's kind of cool that it's hanging in there. It's still doing really good. The NL, you got the Braves, the Cubs, and the Dodgers, who are all leading their divisions. Out of those 3, I think the Dodgers are the best. They are one of the best teams in baseball. They have the best hitting in the National League. And, I mean, obviously you got Kershaw. You've still got a great pitching staff. ERA of like 3.2 or 3.02 or something. It's not bad. So they're doing really well. I actually think the Dodgers are the best of the division leaders. One team I mentioned last week was the Miami Marlins. We're winning their division. They're still only a game and a half back, and I think that would still be good for baseball. I think it'd be good for Miami if they could find a way to get into that division, win the pennant. So there's not a lot going on as far as football right now. The biggest thing would be Justin Fields is trying to get the Big Ten back. Then you've got, training camps opening up for NFL. But not a whole lot is actually going on in the sport right now. So I think I'm going to actually have a little fun here and just tell you guys some top fantasy team names that I've seen so far. We are all about to do our drafts. We're all getting ready for, hopefully win some money or whatever we play for. So, one of the funniest ones I think I saw this year was Country Roads Take My Homes. I think that's great. And yes, I love that song, but that is a very funny name. And for those of you who get Mahomes, there you go. That's your team name. But if you like Sundays and you like Drew Brees, his Breezy Like a Sunday Morning is the right name for you. Also, if you ever saw the movie Hot Tub Time Machine, change that to Hot Chub Time Machine. And if you're just feeling low, sometimes you got some bad juju. But this one, if you're going to party, you better party like a Gronk star. So that's some funny fantasy team names I've found. I just figure I'd throw something out there because I know we're all going to be trying to make our team names. The league I won last year, I used the team name Bye Week, and it actually worked. I'm going to stick with it in that league. The other league I play in was where players come to die, and literally, if they were on my team, they got hurt. It was unfortunate for them. Little bit that is happening in the NFL. Dez Bryant is trying out for the Ravens. And yeah, I'm not big on Dez, but he is a body. He is someone who can go and catch the ball. Well, hopefully catch the ball. And does Lamar Jackson really need another weapon? Is that what they're missing, is one more weapon offensively? I think that would be a good setup for both Dez coming off injury, hasn't played in 2 years, and Lamar Jackson, who is really, really, really talented. So that would be a good thing, I think. I think Dez Bryant coming back would be good for the league. I think it'll be good for the Ravens. Guys, I wish I had more today. There's not a whole lot going on besides the NBA playoffs. You got the NHL playoffs still kicking off. The Lightning knocked out, or they won 4-1 yesterday in their series. I'm still taking Vegas to win the Stanley Cup. I unfortunately don't really watch a lot of hockey, so I can't really say much on that. But other than that, there's not a whole lot going on in the sports world, so I don't have a whole lot to discuss today. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm slowly getting better, I think. I'm going to try to start getting it where I can have videos playing throughout the show, so hopefully that's a little bit better for you. And if there's, you guys have some advice or anything, let me know. This is Sports Life, guys. I'm Ryan. Have a great day. See you next week.